What the? Ah, man. Something ain't right here. If you know anything about RVs, the steps are supposed to power out when you open the door, and it's obviously not doing it. And the good old foreman here can't climb up there without the steps, or at least it's a whole lot harder without the steps. Today, we're gonna look into these steps, troubleshoot what's wrong with them, and try to repair them so they will power in and out when you open the door. Yeah, I lost that, thanks. Then here's the controller. This is mounted underneath the step, and you have to power the step out to access this to remove it. This is the controller end. These two leads here are the main power for the motor. Here's the main power wire for the motor. If you energize these two pins, one a ground, one a positive, directly to the battery, you can get the steps to come out. Right there is the drive motor. There's the amber light over there, and the controller should go over there. Model serial number for reference if you want it. That's a Kwikee brand. And it looks like this actually has a manual drive that you can grab a hold of with a wrench here if you're stuck. I didn't try it, but I think that's what that is. We have the light, and then right here is where the controller would sit. This unit was originally mounted. It was held up here by 3 bolts, and then the 4th bolt here is a ground bolt. I removed those previously and broke off all the bolts in the process, so we're gonna have to drill those out. Ground wire is different than the old weather pack, so we'll have to hardwire or put the old plug back on this. Connect this big guy back to this. The part that would stay on the chassis, and when I was trying to strip the wire came pulling out. That's the main power wire, so maybe that was part of the problem. We have a bad connection here at this plug. Not sure. Curious if we can just direct connect these here without the plug. I think that's probably what we're gonna do. This is the old plug with a new plug. Basically, we got white to white, brown to brown, yellow to the small red, and the big red to the bigger red gauge wire. We got all these wires soldered back together. We just need to heat shrink tube them. Alright, we're gonna tape that up and tuck everything up, of course. But right now, let's just hook power back up and give her a go. Did some troubleshooting on this old control module. We tried to make sure it had all the proper connections, grounds, powers, etc. And the step still didn't work. So we went ahead and we replaced that with a new one. I think that was the problem. We reinstalled the new one in there. It's all wired in. Let's see what it's gonna do. If I shut this door, technically it should go up. I also have to turn the power on in there, but I'll turn the power switch on. We'll shut the door and they should go up. Should, hopefully. Uh-oh. It works. We just had a bad connection at the old plug. Must not been making good contact. Right now what we're going to do is we're going to go turn the ignition on. With the ignition on, these should come up automatically. Real quick, just to go over the diagnostic portion of this video. This is the main controller. Obviously we have two grounds which are green. One's grounded right at the controller and one goes straight to the battery. The remainder of the wires left here. These are the four main controller wires. Red is going to be your hot all the time. White is going to be your power turn on and off. Brown is going to be a ground that triggers on the door switch. And yellow is going to be a key on ignition source power. So red, power. White, power to turn the unit on. Yellow, ignition source power. And brown, ground from the door that gets interrupted with the door switch. So to test this unit, I took the white wire and the red wire, manually energized those. The ignition wire you don't want on because when it's on it wants to roll the step up. And then I took the brown wire and touched it to ground and removed it from ground. Touched it to ground, removed it from ground. And nothing changed on the controller. I was looking at, this is the new plug, but I was looking at the main contacts of the plug. What we found is both sides were positive all the time. So that led me to believe something inside this guy is broken. Now if you want to get the other two wires, these are for the light. I believe this goes to the light and this purple one is the power via switch. So I think we're going to add the light in as soon as we figure out what the other switches in this unit do. That way we'll have us a step light. But I'm pretty sure this thing's garbage. Main indicator that it was garbage was these two wires, which are the main motor wires, were hot all the time, never switching to a ground, just both of them hot. So something inside the solid state switch, I believe, failed and it's junk. Oh yes, that's what I'm talking about. The steps work again. Super happy with that because that was kind of a major holdup, always having to manually energize that. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Leave your questions and comments in that section below, and don't forget to punch that subscribe button your way out. Thanks for watching, everyone.